Thank you for joining us out here at Forest Hills. My name is Trey Gnewikow. I'm the Pro Shop Manager. I'm the Assistant Head of Golf. We're down here on the range today, so we're going to be doing a little bit of swinging. I got a 52-degree wedge, so we're going to aim at some baskets. We're going to work on a couple things. Kind of the wedge swing as a whole, because while it's very similar to our iron swings, it's a little bit different, as well as distance control, because as we get later in the season, there tends to be some fall winds that pick up, tends to get a little bit colder. As it gets colder, the ball doesn't fly quite as far, so we have to be able to adjust to the different distances of the day, whether you're playing in the morning when it's 55 degrees, or you're playing in the afternoon today on a beautiful 82-degree perfect afternoon, like all you guys should be out here on Forest Hills or on a golf course somewhere. But we're going to work today with wedge distance control, that kind of thing there, making sure our swing's all good. So the first most important thing I think of wedges is a quiet lower body. When we look at our wedge swing, we're not hitting the ball much more than about 100 yards. So we don't need to do our big full swing with all of our movement and all that stuff. With a wedge swing, looking at this, I don't have a rangefinder. You can get them in our pro shop. Otherwise, all over the place nowadays you can find really cheap rangefinders, or you can even use apps. There's so many golf apps out there. Use your resources, use that sort of thing to get a good distance control, because that goes a long ways, that you don't just step up here and say, I think it's 70. Well, your guess of 70 might be 78, and now you got a 24-footer instead of a 24-inch putt for birdie. And we want those 24-inchers. We want the kick-ins. We want the balls that we can hit it and we're in the fairway joking with our buddies thinking hopefully it went in the hole. Those are the shots we want, especially with a wedge in our hand. So as I look up at this thing, I'm going to make one kind of practice swing to judge distance, because I don't have a rangefinder today. Again, I think it's about 75 yards, 70 yards, but this swing will be pretty much a tell-all. So first thing, I really want a quiet lower body. To do that, we can put our feet a little closer together. And then it's just trying to swing those arms. You'll see a little lower body rotation, but it's mostly upper torso and then releasing the ball. And actually that one, I blocked out right. So that will happen to everybody. That is, as well as a lot of people dislike saying it, but that is a shank. And that happens to everybody. Pros do it on tour. Zach Johnson had a case of it a couple weeks ago. But just trying to get it out there. So I just smothered the ball a little bit, so I was a little too close. So then all you're doing is getting it up, just trying to get the lower body going, and then you're throwing it out to the net there. So the line was great. I didn't move much, but definitely a little long. Flew maybe about 10 yards right over the top of the net. So then we can counter our distance on the next one. Best, easiest way to figure out your distance is to track your hands. So think of your golf swing kind of as a clock. So we always start at 6 o'clock. If I were to swing it back here, that would be 9 o'clock. If I swing it forward, obviously I'm going to 3. We don't care too much about the through swing. We just really don't want to through swing super fast or decelerate, basically. And I guess there is no such thing as deceleration, so you like to negatively accelerate to slow down your swing. That would be the hurt there. So you really don't want to slow down your swing, and you really don't want to pick it up. You want to keep that smooth tempo, which we did do a video on a long time ago. It was actually probably a couple months now ago, but with tempo and that sort of swing chaining. So check back at that one to go over some of those tempo tips and different things like that. But as we go there, we really want to keep our tempo smooth, our lower body quiet, and go from there. So as I go over things, we kind of just track our arms. So maybe that one I swing up to 10 o'clock. Now we only need to go to 9 o'clock to get that proper distance. We always want to see where our hands are, because that's kind of our easiest judge of distance, where our hands. The club head goes all over the place, so you never want to judge the club head on what time it's at. So if we look at our hands again, trying to shoot at this net again, we do that swing. I got a nice narrow stance, quiet lower body. I'm going to swing from 9 o'clock through, and we'll see how close we get. So distance was pretty good on that one. Maybe I was a little bit long and I just blocked it a little bit to the right. But it was only about 8 feet right at the target. So when you think about it in the long run, if you got a 70-yard wedge shot and you got an 8-footer for birdie or for par, you know, you'll take that from 70 yards. The pros would take that from 70 yards. I know I would take it every day of the week. So again, we do one thing. The goal of this is repeatability, and we do that repeatability, make it really easy by not having our feet very wide and just swinging our arms. So again, I can do that exact same swing again. Just have the nice narrow stance, swinging again from 9 o'clock through. And we pop it out. That one's pretty close, maybe a little long again. Yep, a little bit over the top, and that's okay, because a lot of those holes today, you always say, people tend to think they hit it a lot further than they do. So if we're a little long, that's okay. Courses in our area have downhill putts. You're more likely to get a downhill putt to the hole, so you might result in some more birdie putts. But thanks for hanging with us for some wedges. Come out to the range, hit some wedges, get them dialed. We got a couple nets out here. We have a 100-yard sign, so you can get a really good tell of distance. But come out, practice, get ready for the cold season when the temperature as well as our swing itself kind of adjusts with the winds. You want to be fully prepared for any yardage, any distance. Come out here, get some practice in. Book a lesson with me or our head pro Keith Stoll. Both of us will give some lessons, help you out with distance control, or help you out if you're hitting your driver wrong. We'll help you with anything. So feel free to reach out, come out here to Forest Hills, get some lessons, get some practice in, do some things to put you in a right setting for the rest of this season and next spring. So thanks for joining us for this tip of the week. We'll see you again soon.